Hello everyone, hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to continue on with some Dawntrail. Last time we cleaned up the aether currents in, what was the place called again? We're in Urqopacha, or we're gonna go to Urqopacha. We're in, I can't remember what this place is called. Where are we? Urqopacha, that's right. And we ended up going, and then in the previous one before that, we ended up dealing with a somewhat contrived plot line where Urqopacha got kidnapped, and I've already voiced my dissent with that portion of the story, so I will move on. Anyway, like I said, we're going to head over to Urqopacha and continue on the second portion of that. We finished up we did the northern half, and now we've got to deal with the southern half. And then I think we're gonna try and go meet the giants or whatever. I don't think they're actually in Urqopacha though. So we're gonna need to get through Urqopacha and then actually head up the mountains. Or is Urqopacha where the mountains are? Anyway, we'll see. Let's go and talk to everyone here, and then we'll talk to Urqopacha and get started. The Urqopacha I once knew would have been inconsolable at the loss of a keystone. I think we talked to them last time, but I'll talk to them again. This journey and your companionship is doing her a word of good. Well, isn't that kind of the point of this journey, as we learned? Where I gotta come up with a goofy nickname for their father, the current Dawn servant. It's I called Fortunal Daddy, and I don't think that's really an appropriate name for what's his name? I can't remember his actual name. It's Cuckoo Gaga, or no, not Gaga. Dougal, or I don't remember what his name is. Anyway, let's keep going. Koana is the picture of composure and rationality, except when it comes to matters concerning Urqopacha's safety. Far be it from me to fault a brother for being protective, but still. Though they share a single body, it's obvious Bakul Jaja has two minds when you see one head calming the other head down. And we already established that, Alize, you're a bit behind the curve. His personalities are as distinct as two individuals could be. We'll need to take that keystone back from Bakul Jaja before we arrive at the City of Gold. He will not relinquish it without a fight, though. Don't worry, I can take care of that. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, it's level 93, so I might need to try and get a tiny bit of XP before we actually turn this in, but hopefully I can figure that out before we get far enough. History's Keepers. Urqopacha has her sights set on the Yok Huy village. The roads beckoned, friends. Let's be on our way to Yok Huy. Then it's back to where the path through the mountains begins. You remember the spot where you were tricked into walking off with Walkessa? He's just gonna rub it in my face like that, eh? Yep, yes he is. I wonder if he's raising my hackles on purpose, though. You know, trying to keep my anger directed at him instead of myself. Either way, we can't be standing around here all day. We have a lot of lost time to make up for. Alright then, I'm gonna go probably teleport to the Moblin village. Oh, okay, it's through there. I don't know why. Shouldn't that be above the... Oh no, I guess it should be behind it, shouldn't it? Anyway, I'm gonna teleport over to the Moblin village and then we'll run on over there. Could have sworn I unlocked all... Oh no, I didn't. I unlocked flying with the aether current cleanup, but I never actually went around and finished getting the unlocking everything on the map. I'll do that eventually. The thing I mentioned in there that I was gonna go around and try and do all the gathering log, but then I haven't done that yet. So yeah, let me go ahead and just kill some random mobs and see if I can get enough experience. That gave 3,000, and I need too much. Okay, let me... No, I think that's gonna be too much. I think I'm probably just gonna end up having to put some more experience onto warrior instead, but whatever. Alright guys, where'd Arnville go? I almost called him Arnvold again. I did that in a previous episode, but his name is Arnville. Thrallja will not have been wasting time while we were busy tussling with Bakul Jaja. We need to hurry. Okay, I need to get these names right in my head. I think I figured it out last time. Zoral Jaw is the first promise, and Bakul Jaja is the two-head. And I can remember that because Jaja is the naming convention for the two-headed version. And then just red one jaw is for the single-headed ones, I believe. Aaronville said this path will take us all the way to Urqopacha Highlands, didn't he? I'm sure he did, but I don't remember. Those bandits must have been watching us from the moment we stepped off the riverboat. I knew I felt eyes on us. Alize, please. I couldn't leave without letting Ready Rock know what happened, so I stopped in Earthenshire to say a few words before moving on. And now Aaronville's nowhere to be seen. Couldn't he wait a few moments? So much for giving him the benefit of the doubt. Come on, let's catch up. I want to give that smug cleaner a piece of my mind. I'm sure you do, Urqopacha. I worried Urqopacha would agonize over the loss of her keystone. Yeah, you said that before, Cryo. I guess that was optional dialogue. But it seems I had nothing to be concerned about. Onwards and upwards, then. Alright, let's head on in. Actually, are there any in progress fates? You know, I'm just not gonna worry about it. Like I said, if I don't get to level 93 by the time we get oh yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit of experience for unlocking some yeah, I get 54,000 XP just for walking in here, so I might get enough experience just from the exploration stuff. And no more flying. We have to be quite high up now, which makes me wonder how much higher the summit to Urqor Zamor is. I don't know, let's try looking up. Yeah, that's pretty high. I've never climbed so high before. I'll tell Aaronville off once I catch my breath. Yeah, Urqopacha, sure. Seems those buildings up ahead are the village we're heading for. The Yok Huy have a deep connection to the legend of the Golden City. This visit will allow us to ask them about it directly. As I'm sure you've noticed, the air grows thin at this elevation. Take it slow until your body adjusts. Deep breaths, and drink plenty of water. A few more steps and we'll be near Wolar's Echo. It's a little more than a few steps, but I mean, I'm just gonna mount up, so no problem for me. There we go, I knew that one. That's how this would go. I'll go and grab the alpaca keep and the aether thingy. Aether right, so that I don't forget it. Because I have forgotten it before. And then I'm like, oh, I can't teleport back. Alright, let's do some more talking. I knew the path led here, but I've never set foot in this village myself. Everything here is giant-sized, but the structure in the back is on a different scale altogether. A temple of some kind, mayhap? What's he talking about? Oh, that thing over there, okay. Hilly air, stout stone construction. If I squint a bit, I might think I was in Ishgard for a moment. No, not really. Thank the gods they have an aetherite. I don't fancy the idea of trudging up the mountain trail a second time. I thought it was canon that normal NPCs couldn't use aetherites. No. I think only Thancred is Thancred's the only one that can't because he can't channel ether. Anyway. Phew! I think I'm getting used to the air up here. So this is the place for the Lay of Proof, where Papa met the Yok Huy. I still don't know why they keep calling them giants. Like, yes, they're big, but they're like 7-8 feet tall big. Have you ever seen the NBA? and that must be them. I don't think I've ever actually seen one outside of a picture. So it is for most Turali. The giants rarely visit the lowlands. Here, in their mountain fastness, they tend to the solemn duty they pledge to undertake in their pact with the Dawn Servant. Watch over the Troll Vidral Valley Garmonda and maintain its prison within their temple. Prison? Ah, yes. Urqopacha told us about the Troll Vidral, creatures that live for far longer than normal and awaken to strange powers. Indeed, yet even among those anomalies, Valley Garmonda is unrivaled in strength. It has endured for centuries, bringing catastrophe each time it emerges from its lair. As you learned in the Lay of Ice, it was Urqopacha who at last managed to imprison the beast, and it has lain dormant in the temple ever since. It's said the building still bears a gaping hole in its ceiling from when Valley Garmonda was lured inside by Urqopacha's final ploy. Well, it looks like there's a hole been patched up, unless those are cobwebs. I'd like to see the strongest of all Troll Vidral. I wonder what it's like to fight it. Urqopacha, do you really think you're strong enough to take this thing on? Warlord's Echo was where both the Lay of Proof and Lay of Ice took place. Does that mean there's two keystones here? This not suggest we'll be facing 2 feats at this time? Yeah, that's what I just said. That's a question we can ask the Elector once we find him, unless there's gonna be 2 Electors. Or maybe we should flush out Urqopacha first so I can beat my keystone out of him. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be doing that anytime soon, Urqopacha. Identify the Dawn Servant's Elector should be our priority. Let's find that thieving cheat. No, we should find the Elector. Because in the grand scheme of things, none of this actually matters. The keystones don't actually matter, and we know that. I suppose we do still have 4 keystones to earn, and no matter what we do, the contest will pit us against him sooner or later. Alright, let's seek out the Elector. Then I suggest we pay a visit to Zar the Gracious, or so their temple is called. The Moblins told me that the High Luminary Gerfurler, that's how it's spelled, is to be found there. If we are to ask someone for information, then he seems a wise choice. Oh, looks like we're heading over to the temple. Let's see if we can find our Elector over there. I get the feeling, actually, the only place that we've had issues actually finding the Elector was the alpaca place with the Pelu Pelu. So maybe they'll just show us who we need to talk to. That'd be nice. Is it taboo to request entrance to the temple, you think? I don't know. Ask Aaronville, he'd probably know better than us. The temple guards have been watching us most intently. One does not stroll freely into Valley Garmonda's prison, it seems. Understandable. While this is certainly an impressive building, it doesn't seem the sort of structure one would build to hold a Troll Vidral. We'll need permission to enter the temple, but I expect it won't be a problem for the third promise. Judging by the fact that we're not inside yet, I'm getting the feeling it will be a problem. Who are you? What business have you at Zar the Gracious? Let's see if I can convince the guards that let us through. I am Urqopacha, third promise of Tuliolal, and I seek your Elector for the right of succession. May I speak with Gerfurler? The High Luminary has granted admittance to the claimants. You may enter. Huh, that was easier than expected. In we go then. Yeah, that's my reaction too. Gods, is that... Aye. Villa Gormanda. Interesting. So I'm gonna have to take a wild guess and say that that's the trial boss for this section. Also, I see why it's called the Feet of Ice now. Welcome. Hi, Luminary Gurfurler. I'll need to hear how they end up pronouncing that, because I guarantee that's not how you say it. He is not here at present. I am Luminary Zumurwur. This is the Sky Ruin, Veligramanda? Manda? It is. The Troll Vidral, whose name has evoked terror since time immemorial. Even my people, once conquerors of all beneath the sun, were as brittle leaves before Valamagranda's tremendous power. Tempestuous. Like a tempest, probably. When the Sky Ruin descended upon Urqopacha 8 decades ago, the casualties were staggering. Had Ghoul Jaja and his companions not intervened, he would have been slaughtered to the last. Their titanic battle with Valigramanda raged for 10 days and 10 nights. As their foe fought on, tireless and relentless, our heroes were pushed beyond the limits of their endurance. Thus did the Head of Reason concoct a desperate plan. Ghoul Jaja tricked the Sky Ruin into losing control of its own ice magics, causing the unwitting Troll Vidral to encase itself in frozen ether. And it's been like that ever since. Nice work, Papa. But what happens if the ice ever melts? That same question looms large in our minds, for the magics sustaining this prison grow weaker with each passing year. Veligramanda commands powers of fire and lightning and ice. Some believe that the violence of the recent storm was the result of those energies slipping free. That raging tempest from Veligramanda? Setting future worries aside, you are come to attempt the feat of proof, yes? The High Luminary, chosen elector of the Dawn Servant, has left me with instructions for all aspiring claimants. You are to scour our forbidding mountains and find the waiting Gurfurler that is to be your challenge. Interesting. I was wondering why he wasn't here. I thought if it was going to be some like big thing, but no, apparently that's just plain the challenge. Ah, so the search itself is the feat. You've already spoken with my brothers, I take it? I have. Their expeditions are underway. Then we'd better pick up the pace. Aye, but we'll need a direction to search in first. Let's see what hints we can gather from the villagers. Alright, sounds like a good idea. You know, ask the locals, like usual. Oh yeah, we're definitely fighting this thing. As large as the Yok Huy are, digging blindly for one in the expanse of these mountains would be an exercise in futility. We need more information. I know, that's what you said before, Alpha Node. I've encountered many extraordinary creatures in Eorzea and elsewhere, but long has it been since I felt an overwhelming presence, like 1,000 dagger points pricking my skin. Aaronville, that sounds like you're just a weakling. Thrall withdrawals sound an awful lot like the auspices of the Far East. Are they the same thing under a different name, do you think? So they're all primals? I sense the recent expulsion of a great deal of ether from Valigormanda's prison. The ice will hold for but a few years more, I fear. Carl, you probably shouldn't be going and saying that, like, you know, in the middle of the village. That's a really good way to start a big panic. Gods, Valigormanda, oh, come on. Oh, my game crashed. Okay, give me a second. Okay, where we left off? Gods, Valigormanda is enormous. I know Papa had friends with him, but it's incredible he could hold his own against that thing. Should its prison ever fail, though, we can't expect the old guard to come running. It'll be up to us to save the day. Well, I guess we're screwed. Or at least if Urqopacha's the one in charge. Of course, if we're here, then we'll be fine. If we want to pass this feat, it looks like we've got more climbing ahead of us. Yeah, everybody's probably saying the same thing. I've kind of got you. Okay, Alpha Node, let's do the next one. The Feat of Proof. Alpha Node would share his strategy for information gathering. As we've just been informed, the Feat of Proof requires us to seek the High Luminary Gerfurler somewhere upon these mountains. However, if earlier feats are any indication, we must assume the challenge precludes the Yok Huy from answering our questions in a straightforward manner. Thus, I would ask that you pay close attention while attempting to divine Gerfurler's whereabouts. Oh, guess Urqopacha won't be helping us. Though the giants may not give us a precise location, there may be clues hidden within their words. That's just my theory anyway. Let us see what we can discover. Alright, also I remembered that I'm supposed to be looking for aether currents. Looks like the next one's actually southwest. Which is like probably over here somewhere, so I'll leave the flag there. And then let's go ahead and talk to this person over here. Your Gerwar. The High Luminary? No, I've not seen him today. Now let me ask you a question. The Zabral who came out of the temple earlier, was that really the third promise? She seems rather unimposing. How is she meant to succeed the mighty Gulul Jaja? I don't know. She keeps saying she's going to, but I don't know how she's going to. Oh, let's talk to Kryl over here. And I see Alpha Node down there as well. From what I've seen of them so far, the Yok Huy seem a gentle and reserved people. Well, that's probably a good thing. Let's see, is there anyone I can see around here? I think that's Alizé over there. And Urqopacha, let's talk to both of them as well. The Yok Huy are bigger than I imagined. Side by side, they can make even a Hanu look small. I still don't think they're that tall. I guess like standing, my character at the top of the ears is supposed to be about 7 feet tall. So I guess they are like 9-10 feet tall, something like that. So that is pretty big. That's like Whitebeard big. I know he's like 13 feet tall or something. This wall is covered in Yok Huy writing. I wonder what it says. And then the only person we haven't, like, aren't, I don't know where he is Aaronville, but I'm sure we'll find him while I'm looking around here. Alright, Zebror, what have you got to say? Atuliolan? No, you are from farther away than that, I think. As for the High Luminary, I can only guess where he might be. He is a wanderer of the Sky Ruin, but also keeper of the sepulchres. I think it's sepulcher. And his duties often take him outside the village. Alright. Are we supposed to interpret the sky ruin? Oh, there's Aaronville. As Alphinaud said to, like, look out for exactly what they're saying, and he mentioned 2 different places there. They grow corn here, too. It's a common crop wherever you go, including the North Zuktral. Alright, let's go ahead and find Alphinaud again, and then talk to the last person. I believe Alphinaud was up here. Unless he's up on the next level, but I think that was... Yeah, that was Kryl, so Alphinaud's down here somewhere. There he is. When you've finished asking around, we can meet back where we started. Okay. Let's talk to this last person over here. Zerfurlar. Asking about the High Luminary as well, are you? I know not where to find him, but I do hope you have an opportunity to speak together. He's a great man, with a deep reverence for our traditions. These glyphs we carve are for one. He affords them as much value as any treasures we possess. They are records of lives lived, your arrival too. I will etch into stone that the story of our meeting may endure for untold turnings of the sun. It's not that important, bro. You don't need to record that. If you are curious about our ways, then I bid you visit Proof, to the northwest here. It is one of our grave sites. Well, I guess that's another place we can go check out. Let's meet back with everyone and share what we found. So we got like 3 different locations to potentially check out. One of them was the Proof, and the Sky Ruin, and then another place that I forgot. I'm sure our character will somehow have a perfect memory, and then we'll not have to worry about it. That mountain is huge. First things first, was anyone able to coax forth the definite location for the High Luminary? I doubt it. As expected. What then of clues or other hints that might point us in the right direction? Well, I got 3 different locations we could try. I heard that in addition to his usual duties, Grufferlur is also charged with keeping the graves. Hey, you know, somebody else mentioned the gravesite. Maybe we should check that place out. As did I. The Yok Huy sepulchres appear to hold a special significance in their culture. And if it's about learning more about their culture, then that's definitely a place we should check out. But would it be appropriate for outsiders to enter into their burial grounds? Well, why don't we just ask? Proof, you say? And he encouraged you to visit this place yourself? Yes, he did. Let's go and take a look. Even if we don't find Grufferlur there, it will give us a chance to learn more about the Yok Huy. Yeah, we actually need to learn about them for like the City of Gold stuff too, right? The gravesite is somewhere northwest of here. Well, we can leave from that side of the village for a start, shall we? Alright then, let's head on out. Yeah, that gravesite seems to be our best bet. Even if we don't end up finding him there, we'll be able to hopefully find... Man, that's a view. Unfortunately, it's all foggy. Well, at least maybe be able to learn a bit more about their culture. The others have gone ahead to Proof, following the trail west. There are sharp drops everywhere, so we're all moving at our own pace. Some of us are not built for craggy terrain. I thought to get my bearings from up here first, so I don't stumble off a cliff. Why don't you try to catch up to Aaronville? He should be able to point you in the right direction. Is that Proof? Way over there? Let's see, where's it taking me? I mean, is it marked on the map? Yeah, it's all the way over there. So we're not going to be getting this, probably getting this one. Sorrow. Okay. And Solace. Interesting. Oh. Let's head on down the craggy path. Make sure to check the Aether Compass every once in a while. Okay, there's one to the north. And judging by how open this is, I'll probably want to try and grab it before we actually get to proof. Is it going to be up on the cliff, or is it going to be a lot easier to see than that? But first, let's talk to Alize. It's not quite mountain climbing, but these steep slopes are exhausting enough. Alize, maybe you just need to, like, train some more. Northeast. Okay, it should be, like, right over here. Where is it? I said 93 yalms. It's not gonna be that hard to find. Southeast. Okay, I need to... Is it, like, up top here? Or is it right around this corner? It's gotta be up on top here, doesn't it? North. Okay, it's supposedly, like, right... It's probably right up there. Let me run around a little more and see if I can actually get up there. Oh, I'm still zoomed in. I hate that. I was doing so well, too. Oh, those guys look, hot. Okay, I'm guessing it's gonna be, like, right on the edge here or something. Okay, where is it? Up there it is. I thought so. Okay, where's the next one? North, even more north? Is that one that's in this area that I missed, or is there actually one over there? I'm gonna pull up the Aether Current map for this place. Even though I try to just do it with the compass, but if there's one there, then I'm gonna want to get it like right away. Or at least I want to know if it's in... Okay, so there is one up there. Okay, there is one right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. I wanted to see if it was actually on this side or if it was on the north side and we had just missed it. It looks like it's probably gonna be on the other side of this little building here. Little building. That's not really that little. Also, this probably has an invisible wall, but I'm not exactly gonna test that right now. Make sure I don't slip off if there isn't one. It says that there should be an Aether Current over here. And there is. Sir. Your motorcycle is, flying. Alright, west. 576 is going to be a bit too far. So let's just go ahead and actually do the objective. Why is there a giant crater here? So let's go and talk to Alpha Node first. These have the look of homes rather than graves. What would seem long years have passed since anyone living resided here. Oh right, is this proof? Oh no, that's the Shades of Grief. Oh no, proof, it's actually in proof, isn't it? Yeah, the next one's actually like in proof, and apparently there's one way south that we saw before. We'll deal with that later once we get there. Take a look at this crater. There is no wood, no trees, not even dried grass, and yet the ground still burns. This must be one of the scars left by Valigramonda's rampage, as told by the saga. The Sky Ruin's fires are described as eternal, flames that can be quenched by neither storm nor time. Sounds a bit like Suzaku. No, she's the Phoenix. Anyway, I know that they made. I know I'm drawing that conclusion because they mentioned that they're like the auspices. But let's just continue. And here I thought it literally embellishment. Not literally, literary. And here I thought it a literary embellishment. Ah, but now I've lost sight of Urqopacha. Well, that's not good. Might get kidnapped again. Proof is northwest along the main road. So hopefully she's still headed the right way. Yeah, I kind of doubt that, unfortunately. Anyway, let's see if we can try and catch up to her. Assuming we can get to her. Yeah, so I believe the next Aether Current is actually up right by this quest marker, so I'll make sure to grab it. And then let's actually take a look and see... No, not Mount Speed. Aether Currents. Yeah, so there's... I know that there's 2 in this area. And then... I know that there's 3 more in this area. Which means... Did we miss one? Yeah, so it means that we just missed 1 in the lower region. So unfortunately, we'll need to go ahead and pick that up on some other time. Also, I see the Aether Current there. Wow, my marker was actually pretty close. Alright, then let's head on to up top, talk to Urqopacha. I assume that's who we're talking to. Oh, yep, there she is. And a patient gravekeeper. Thankfully, we found a patient one. We're gonna need it. Ah, you've come. Urqopacha wins again. Right, Urqopacha. I definitely wasn't worried that you were gonna get kidnapped again. Looks like everyone is here now, so... Greetings, friend. Are you Gurfurler? No, I am not. The High Luminary did, however, task me with providing a lesson on sepulchres to those who came in search of him. Well, crud. Oh, so we were meant to find our way here after all. Are you to tell us who is buried here? No one is buried here, in the sense you mean. When a body has served its purpose, we consign it to the flames, then scatter its ashes across the peaks. Moreover, we do not conceive of death as others do. For us, a person does not die when their heart ceases to beat, but only when they no longer born in the hearts of all who know them. This is why we build our sepulchres before age or mishaps claim us, that we might etch ourselves into the living chronicle for all eternity. Their writing and rune stuff seems to be a very integral part to their culture. This grave belongs to a good friend. His mortal vessel ended his journey some years ago, but he lives within me, even now. Up there stands my own sepulchre. As long as it exists, so too will I. I will endure in the hearts of those who read my grave's glyphs, in the same manner my friend does in mine. Has it always been thus for your people? This conception of existence and death? Continue along the path to the indelible passage. Behold the history upon its walls, and you may find the answers to your questions. Then that's what we'll do. Your traditions are fascinating, and I'd love to know more. Is that why you turned away from him when you said that? I thank you for allowing me to share them, for in doing so, I will remain in your hearts also. Go now to the indelible passage. In its murals is the history of my people laid bare. Alright, let's head on over to the indelible. I know I read it like that, but I don't know if that's actually how you say it. Well, let's head on over there and see if we can learn more about the Yok Huy people. I believe there's an Aether Current like way over here, and then there's one way down here. Yeah, northeast. Apparently it's up here. Or is that the one that we missed last time? Probably the one that we missed last time. Yep, the indelible passage, and there's everyone. Ooh, man, that's all grassy and green. I get the feeling they were expecting us. Of course they were. Look at these splendid murals. They appear to depict 4 different scenes. Oh, I'm sure they're going to tell us all about them. To not only be remembered, but to live inside the hearts of others. If it's possible... Oh, I'm still zoomed in. I really got to get better at that. If it's possible, then grandfather surely lives on inside mine. It's a comforting thought. I've never spoken with the Yok Huy before, and had no idea they held such a philosophy on life and death. That's why we're here, right? I've been waiting for you. Hello. A fellow we met at Proof suggested that we come here. Yes. The High Luminary commanded that I watch for your arrival. As the chroniclers of our people, it has ever been my family's duty to pass on the teachings of the murals from generation to generation. So I guess he's going to tell us all about them now. Are we going to see Heidelin in here? Heidelin and Zodiac fighting? They really are magnificent. And together they tell the tale of your people's history. They are the events which shaped us. I would share them with you ere you continue on your way. Please, we would love to hear all about it. Then I will begin. I can imagine the second promise just not caring about any of this, and then Urqopacha geeking out about everything. This first mural depicts a time more than 1100 years ago, an age of great prosperity for the Yok Huy. Blessed with size and strength unmatched by our other peoples, our ancestors marched forth and brought much of Dawntrail under their dominion. Then, when all before them had been conquered, they turned their gaze northwards, seeking to expand their territory and power. Here we see the expedition of Dawntrail. Unable to cross the strait by ship, our forefathers set to building a bridge to the northern lands, a grand labor which consumed the greater part of a century. Zorgor the Boundless. We still make use of that bridge in Tuliolol for travel. Oh wait, this is Wickelmod. That makes more sense. Zorgor the Boundless. We still make use of that bridge in Tuliolol for travel. I can't imagine the patience and dedication it took to complete a work at that scale. But I've never heard of any Yok Huy living in Dawntrail. What happened to the ones who went north? They got wrecked, probably. Look upon this next mural and behold the answer. The scene suggests that many giants perished all at once. What manner of enemy could have repelled their invasion? A foe unnamed and unseen. When the expedition pushed forth into Dawntrail those 1,000 years ago, its soldiers were felled by disease. Ah, yes. The classic. Can't fight him with brawn? Throw a disease in. I mean, what? Some terrible illness? No. No virulent plague or newly arisen blight. For the local Tonwata and Tetona, it was but a mild affliction of the sort, and comes with the turning of the seasons. So they died of the flu. Okay. What manifested for them as slight fevers and coughs, however, proved deadly to our people. There's a story I read recently that had something like this. Oh, it was in the Martian Chronicles, where the sicknesses that they brought to Mars ended up being completely deadly to the Martians. And I mean, that's just kind of like how history is. Like when people came from Europe to North America, And then they brought all their sicknesses and stuff and got a bunch of the natives killed. You know, the usual. Except in this time, it's the people coming in that are getting sick. I guess that's actually the opposite of both of those cases I just gave. Anyway. Out of every 10 Yok Huy who joined the Northern Campaign, 9 succumbed to the infection. Those who survived continued to suffer, finding it difficult to sire offspring. Ah, okay. I've heard this tale before. Lacking an inherited resistance, visitors to the distant land can fall deadly ill to diseases a local might shrug off. Or the opposite. These events might have given rise to the practice of cremation, rather than burial of mortal remains. This final mural depicts the return of our grieving brethren to Urqopacha. The reason they first left, why they had fought so long and pushed so far, was to ensure peace for our homeland. This undertaking began in ancient times, when our forebears learned they shared the continent with peoples unlike to us in appearance or custom. They feared invasion was inevitable. Rather than meekly await their fate, they decided to strike the first blow. Yet as they fought on and on, the old idea of peace drifted further and further away. Only after the disease in Dawntrail and their withdrawal to the mountains did they come to understand. The peace we envisioned had been ours for the taking all along. It was here, in the place which birthed us. Here, in the stones upon which we record our days. Here, in this tranquil life we had traded for conquest and conflict. When you do nothing but fight, it can blind you to what's right before your eyes. Yes, Mr. First Promise, maybe you should listen to this story. And so we return to the present. I trust you found this brief history of our people enlightening. Yes, it did. Unfortunately, the one who really needs to hear this is the First Promise. I'm always glad to learn more about my fellow trolley. How you've lived until now, and how you wish to live from now on. Then I believe you are ready to proceed. The High Luminary bids you meet him upon the summit of Urqopacha. You mean that really tall mountain? I had a feeling we'd end up scaling that big old mountain. Well, it's a feast worthy of the name. Follow the trails south of here to begin your ascent. But be wary. Beyond the entryway, the mountainside is home to ferocious beasts, both mundane and otherwise, and that's going to end up being the dungeon. We'll keep that in mind. Thank you for your warning and the lesson. Finally, we know where we are going, to the top of Urqopacha. Got any more to say? Your genuine interest in this history is refreshing. I'm going to take a wild guess and say all 3 of the other claimants just brushed it all off. That would not surprise me at all. Okay, so I believe the closest Aether Current is actually to the west. Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Instead, let's head on down over here. And probably finish up this quest, and then it'll unlock the dungeon. Because the next quest is the dungeon quest. In that case, are we actually going to finish Urqopacha? Because doesn't that end up just leading to the next zone? Or, I guess not, since there's no zone exits over here. Oops. I hope I don't have to run all the way around. Yeah, I think I have to run all the way around. Oops. And the only zone exits is Tuliolol there, and then, what's the place? Zomuuka. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out. If I'd known we'd be climbing Urqopacha, I might not have raced up and down all those trails. My feet are killing me. I mean, Urqopacha, you kind of did that to yourself. This thin mountain air is going to be the death of me. Alize, maybe you should be training more. Because I know you definitely don't train enough. But how long have you been standing there? I was just taking in the scenery, is all. Right, Alize. Right. Come on, we don't want to fall too far behind Alpha Node and the others. Right, Alize, sure. Okay, there's the end of the quest. And then the next quest is the dungeon quest, I believe. And then that's what I wanted to get through this time. So once we're done with that dungeon, we'll probably wrap it up there. First, we gotta talk to everyone and finish up this part. I hope we come across Buckle Jaja on our way to the summit. We still owe him for the troubles he caused us in Kazuma Uka. So I get the feeling we won't. Or maybe we will, and although it'll just be like a small thing in the dungeon. The true size of a mountain is never more apparent than when you're standing right at its foot. Except that I can't see it. Man, we've had terrible weather today in this game. In-game weather. I cast a rejuvenating spell on Urqopacha. Even our indomitable third promise is feeling the strain of these slopes, oh yeah. I fear I won't be of much use to you as a guide past this point. Even in Tuliolol, there is precious little written about the sacred peak of Wukor Zamor. Beyond whimsical poetry, that is, of course. You remember how the chronicler was saying that the more they fought, the further away they moved from their idea of peace? It occurs to me that Zoral Jah is attempting the feat of proof. Then he will have heard the same lesson. That's what I was thinking. I can only hope that it's made him reconsider his stance on educating people through war. Yeah, no, he's too hard-headed to really understand that. Alright.